Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are dialing in from. My name is Maurice Shawaki, and I'm one of the executives here at Viome. And I'd like to welcome everybody here to the third in the series of three of our Signal in the Noise webinar series. I'm just going to give folks just a couple more seconds to come on in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. First and foremost, I wanted to say thank you to everybody being here today. You're definitely taking a step into the new year for resolutions of, taking care of your own health and putting your health forward. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday season and a very happy new year. And we're looking forward to all the good things that 2022 brings in this challenging environment. And to anybody that's, being affected by all the COVID issues right now, our thoughts are with you all. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get things started here. And again, thank you so much to everybody being here. First and foremost, I want to review for those that were part of the last two webinars and those that are joining us for the first time, what the first two webinars were all about, and then of course what today's webinar is going to be about. Our first webinar was really about, and you heard from our founder, you heard from our CTO, a few other folks. It was really about, going over what Viome's mission is and our technology and, how your sample is analyzed and all the scores that you get and what they mean to you and your health and, and really what those scores and your results mean. Just as a reminder, we do sell two kits, and they have the gut intelligence kit and the health intelligence kit. Those that are customers of the gut intelligence kit, there were certain scores that you didn't get that you did get with the health intelligence kit. So we're not going to be spending too much time on scores today, but just keep that in mind. If you do have the gut intelligence kit, there are some scores that you're not seeing. And the second webinar that took place right before the holidays was all about the food recommendations we make, the hundreds of foods that we have in our database and how your microbiome influences those decisions. Everything from oxalates to glycemic response model and how that all works with our algorithm and our AI to categorize those foods specifically for you as superfoods, enjoy, minimize, or avoid. And really understanding those recommendations and how they affect your scores, and ultimately answering your questions around serving sizes and different topics like the food viruses and the general implementation. So what's today all about? First and foremost, you're going to meet one of the members of our executive team that you haven't met before, who is Dr. Stephen Barry, and he is our VP of Clinical Nutrition and runs the Clinical Nutrition team. We're going to talk about why supplements are important, vitamins, minerals, herbs, etc., and why the personalized nutrition that we strive for and deliver is so important. How we've addressed these issues associated with knowing, which supplement is right specifically for you and how to obtain it and how much you should take and how we determine those nutritional recommendations. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it along over to Stephen in just a moment. But just as a reminder, we do still offer until today one of the best offers we've ever had out there. If you are interested in buying kits or supplements, whenever you go through the checkout process, keyword Signal, SIGNAL, is going to get you extra money off our already discounted prices. Just write that down if it's something you want to do. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Stephen Barry. Great to see you, sir. Please take it away and tell us all about what you're going to take us through today.
Thank you, Maury. I'm excited to be here. Hello, everybody. First thing, I'd love to honor all of you for being here. You're taking the step, a specific step in wanting to help and learn about how to change your health and live a better life. And you're being proactive by being a participant here. So I want to honor you for taking the time to do that. And we're happy to be here to help you along this journey. Slide, please. So before we talk about how your supplements are formulated and how they're made, I want to mention a little bit about why Viome is doing this. Okay, why is Viome involved in supplements? And we recognize that there are three problems. that I want to talk about briefly. Slide. So I just want you to look at this for a second, and it doesn't say what it is, but there are two lines on it, and one line at the bottom doesn't look so good. We're going to talk about what this means. Next. These actually look at the life expectancy from when you're born to when you die over the past 40 years. So this is life expectancy of 40 years, and you can see that 1980 was about 70 something, and if you go up to 2020, it was about for the top line, about 82. Next slide. The United States is that bottom line. So here's the country that's the wealthiest country in the world, theoretically the most sophisticated healthcare system in the world. Our lifespan has been going down over the past 3 years and has remained stable and not increased over the past at least 5 or 6 years. Next slide. So healthcare workers and scientists talk about it's like we're going off a cliff. If you look at this between 2010 and 2020, actually, our life expectancy in the United States has slowly been going down. This is despite all the incredible healthcare that we theoretically have available in the United States. Our lifespan has been going down. So the question is, why is this happening? And of course, there are many factors. We're going to address a couple of those factors. Next. Americans are sicker than the rest of the world. Okay, that's the disability life year rate at the top. So we're almost twice as sick as the comparable country average in the world. This is obesity. This is all the chronic diseases, diabetes, heart disease, cancer. We are twice as sick as other comparable countries in the world. This is a problem. Okay, Viome has chosen one of our missions, which you heard about from our founder in the first webinar. Our mission is, how do we change that? How do we give people the option to not have chronic illness? And of course, supplements is a part of that. Next. And look at this one. This is kind of a shocking one. Pregnancy-related deaths per 100,000 births. So in the past 20 years, more people, more babies are dying before they're born than in the past 20 years. And if you look at comparable country average, that's remained the same, actually over time. United States, again, even with all the sophisticated hospital and delivery systems, there are more babies dying than ever before. Why is that? And we'll find out what the common denominator of this is. Next. Percentage of Americans with chronic diseases. In 2020, over 45% of people in the United States had one or more chronic diseases. And as I mentioned, those include diabetes, cancer, heart disease, obesity, etc. So almost half the population has multiple chronic diseases. And as you can see, that's almost double, it's more than doubled in the past 40 years. It's actually quadrupled in the past 40 years. Next. So this is the common denominator. Everything that I just showed you, those dire statistics, are all related to lifestyle. What do we drink, what we breathe, and what we eat. And of course, Viome is very much involved in helping you make decisions about what you eat and what goes into your mouth in terms of foods and in terms of, today, we're going to talk about supplements. Next. So one could say, okay, if the problem relates to what we eat, then why is food not helping? Well, it turns out that in the past, actually, let's see, 60, 70, almost 80 years, the mineral content of the foods that you eat, the fruits and vegetables, has gone down dramatically. Take a look at sodium in vegetables. It's gone down 49%. Calcium in vegetables has gone down 46%. In fruits, zinc has gone down almost 30%. Vegetables have 60% less zinc than they did 60, 70 years ago. This is a tremendous problem if we're relying upon foods, which people used to do, to give us all the nutrition that we need. Next. This slide has a lot on it. I know you can't read it, but what I want you to pay attention to are all those black down arrows. So for all those foods on the left, bananas and tomatoes and broccoli and rice and eggs, apples, if you look at the chart, everything in black means the content of the macronutrients and the micronutrients has gone down. So almost half the value that we used to get from the nutrients in foods, we're now not getting. This is a serious problem. This is part of the problem of the increase of chronic disease in the United States. Next. So why is this happening? And I'm going to go into this in a little bit more detail in a second. But we have commercial agriculture, which depletes nutrients from the soil. We have people want to have big, fat, juicy looking fruit at the supermarket. They have less nutrients in them. We preserve foods differently. We process foods differently. Next. So high yield farming practices have led to decline of these nutritional content, such as minerals and vitamins in our foods. Next. I'm going to go through these quickly. Food processing. The food processing and the cooking and preserving has reduced the levels of nutrients. So, 67 years ago, we didn't have all this processed food. Next. Strangely enough, environmental pollution. Actually, our bodies need more nutrients. So now we're getting into, we actually need more today because of our lifestyle. So because of the environment in the air and what we drink, and even in our foods, we need more nutrients than usual to detoxify and eliminate the harmful substances that we take in. Next. Our lifestyle, it's full of stress. There's fast food. People don't exercise as much. These all affect our health, all affect our need for more nutrition to take care of inflammation, to take care of concern about weight gain, to take care of stress. We need more nutrition to take care of that. Next. People, eat erratically. They eat on the job, they eat in the car. This contributes to a lower absorption of nutrients because we're not digesting the nutrients that are present in food properly. Next. And the big factor, as we age, we need more nutrition. So different stages of life and health result in higher needs of certain nutrients. And as we've seen, with all the chronic disease, that means people actually, if they want to control those chronic diseases, if they want to lower the effects of those chronic diseases, they even need more nutrition. Next. So now we get to more focused on what we're going to be talking about today, and that's nutritional supplements. And just to kind of review with everybody to set the stage properly, what are the benefits of supplements? Besides the fact that we're not getting the nutrition that we need from our foods, what are the benefits of nutritional supplements? Well, in general, they promote health. They help lower the risk, they help prevent, and they also can treat symptoms and diseases. Okay, whether it's fatigue, whether it's poor sleep, whether it's inappropriate weight gain, whether it's irritable bowel syndrome, whether it's constipation, nutritional supplements can help benefit those conditions. So we want to be able to use supplements, combine it with a healthy diet, which we've talked about before, and that can contribute substantially to increasing your health, lowering the risk of disease in the future. Next. So I mentioned 3 problems. So those are the first 2. The third one is, now what do I do about it? Okay, you've heard me talk about supplements. So you say, okay, I'll go out and take a bunch of supplements. Well, if you go to the store, what do you pick? There are thousands of options in the store. Well, maybe you do a questionnaire. Maybe you follow something that your cousin told you. Maybe you read something about it on the internet. You Googled it and you found out something about supplements. But this is really a poor and inadequate way to determine what you need. and which supplements are right for you. Next. And one of the things that Viome has addressed, and we'll talk more about how we actually do it, is that we're all individuals, right? Our characteristics of our health are not locked in stone. Our health is dynamic and changes every day. And this is not caused by genes. It's primarily caused by our nutrition and the environment that we live in. What we breathe, what we eat, what we drink, how we move, our stress levels. That's our biochemical individuality. This determines what we need, in this case, in terms of nutrition, of foods, in terms of supplements. Next. And with that, I'll send it back to Maury.
All right, thank you, Stephen. And that was fantastic. And really, I think for those that don't know, Stephen here, we're lucky enough to have one of the preeminent mavens when it comes to the microbiome of understanding. And grandfather. Well, I was trying to be nice to you, but so you're right. We understand the need. How do you start? You go to some stores, and I mean, no joke, there's 400 bottles in front of you, and how do you begin? So with that, some of you may remember from our previous webinars, Dr. Grant Antoine. And Grant, what I'd love for you to do today, if you can, is walk us through and help us understand how, why did Viome take on this task of really what I think in my 25 years is revolutionizing the supplement industry and truly developing a one-of-a-kind product that is specific to us based on our unique biology. So with that said, Dr. Grant, please take it away.
Yeah, Stephen just hinted at it, right? It's really this big problem. Where do you start? We know there's a role for supplements in creating and maintaining health, but with so many options, so many decisions to make, it really can be daunting. It's really like the Wild West. How do you know which supplements are right for you? There's all the brands, there's quality concerns. Maybe you don't want to get that rancid fish oil from the local Costco. There's safety concerns, costs. Why does one form of CoQ10 cost $30 more than the next? What's going on here? And there's other issues. Maybe you're trying to get supplements on Amazon where there are known issues with label tampering, counterfeit products. It's a real mess. And that's just brands. Then there's ingredients. Like, say the ingredient you want, but which form do you need? You're trying to get some folate. Do you need the folic acid? Do you need a methylated form of folate or B vitamin? Magnesium, like there must be like 20 forms of magnesium, right? Oxide, glycine, malate, citrate, and then probiotics. Like which strains do I need for me? Do I need 10 billion? Do I need 30 billion? Do I need spore-based? Do I need live organisms? Refrigerated, not refrigerated? It's a big mess. And then there's other concerns like, hey, maybe you're on some medications and you're concerned, hey, is there going to be some interaction here? Maybe on a blood thinner, I don't know what's safe. Maybe I have a condition that I'm not sure, which supplement or which form is right for me. So, early on, as we're trying to give really the best possible nutritional and supplemental recommendations. Next slide, please. We see that our customers, they're really struggling to get basic nutrients, to get basic products. So we had this idea, like, what if we could provide their supplements, right? And what if we could do it on demand with precise dosing to target, what we're seeing in their test results. We could give them exactly what they need and explain that to them, right? Then we can deliver it straight to their door. And suddenly we've solved all these problems that customers are running into. And now we've got this ability to provide personalized precision supplement recommendations, which is even better than kind of your cookie cutter, one size fit all recommendations that maybe you're finding online or from your neighbor, right? Next slide, please.
And, before you go onto that slide, Grant, what's interesting is that, the first 4 years Viome was in business, we were giving these recommendations to all of our customers, specific nutrients and dosages, but we weren't making them. And we were just saying, hey, we'll help you go out and even find them. And then we just got pounded on, we're like, people are like, please, just do it for us. And so this is new. This is not why we started, but I think we're doing it in such a way, which I know you're going to talk about, and our next speaker, that's really unique and different.
Absolutely. Yeah, we saw a need and we went to fill the need, right? So now what do? We're giving you what you need, when you need it, in the exact dose, and we can tell you exactly why you need it right there in your app, right? And this isn't some recommendation from an online forum, right? It's unbiased, it's quantitative recommendations from our artificial intelligence recommendation engine. It's based on the best available scientific literature and state-of-the-art testing, right? We have custom blending manufactured on demand and delivered straight to your door. Suddenly, right, it's like you mentioned, it's truly revolutionary, right? No one else in the industry is doing this. We're really disruptive, and we're making it easier than ever before to get effective nutrition. Because now your formulas, it's tailored to you, right? It's personalized and it's precise, and that's important, right? Stephen hinted at it earlier. The next slide, please. You're not your sister, you're not your brother, you're not your mom and dad, your neighbor. You're uniquely you, and how your microbiome and your body are adapting to the world around you, your needs, that they're different and they're yours and yours alone. And it's this idea of epigenetic expression, right? What environmental and lifestyle factors are influencing your genes, upregulating or downregulating activity. Maybe it's metabolic, maybe it's immune or inflammatory, maybe it's hormonal. But these influences and patterns are uniquely yours, and it kind of makes these blanket cookie cutter supplement recommendations antiquated, right? I'll use butyrate as an example, right? Everyone knows butyrate's important. It's anti-inflammatory. It's great for the gut lining and influences glucose metabolism in the liver. But you don't just start taking butyrate, right? Do you? I mean, that's kind of what you might find online, but there's more to the picture. It's like, do you as an individual even have sufficient levels of the microbes in your gut to produce butyrate? If you do, is the activity there? Are the pathways primed and ready to go to produce that butyrate? And then do you have the right amounts of fibers and the right types of fibers in your diet? So there's more to the picture, right? But now no one could really analyze this before. Now we can. We have our mRNA testing technology. We can evaluate this, and it's important, right? And it helps guide our supplement recommendations. So now it's just don't just take more butyrate. You actually need, based off testing, we see that you need a need for more microbes. So let's supplement with the appropriate probiotics, get those numbers up. Then we can start talking about introducing fibers to the diet, right? And then the next level is like, okay, well, what type of fibers? Do I have high gas production? Do I have a glycemic response to these fibers? It goes on and on. But this idea, this molecular individuality, it's important, and the science is catching up to it, and it really supports this idea that more and more research is coming out every day. Why do some folks not respond to their SSRI for depression? Why do they not respond to their metformin for their glucose control? We have our own paper on this, actually. Why do some folks experience severe illness from COVID and others are asymptomatic? The bottom line is you are unique. Your individual biology matters. And because you are unique, so should your nutritional recommendations. And that's exactly what we're doing here at Viome. We're really proud of it, and it's one of a kind. It's amazing.
Fantastic. Grant, you're amazing as always. I love that explanation. And what my questions now lead to, and all the customers that I speak to, they understand this. They understand the need for it. But now, how the heck does Viome do it? And with that, I'm going to lean to my dear friend Hillary Kaiser, who has been on a couple of the webinars as well. And Hillary, if you would, I'd really like you to take us through, not only the scores and the questionnaire and all the things that come together to give these recommendations. There is your sample, there's your questionnaire, there's the algorithm, but ultimately, what does it mean to the customer? Why these ingredients? What are the pathways? What's the dosing look like? Is your formula truly unique? And then if you can, after you kind of take us through that, I really think it's important as well. And there's so many different vitamin options and mineral options out there. A big part of it is the manufacturing procedure. Is the manufacturer actually doing what they're supposed to? And so I would love it if you could walk us through a little bit of Viome's manufacturing protocol, quality, testing, the sourcing of ingredients, all those types of things. If you wouldn't mind, Hillary, please take it away.
You bet. All right. Hi, everyone. It's so great to be back. Yeah, let's talk about how your recommendations are made and then how your supplements are manufactured. So all of these things that Grant just mentioned, all the things that make up your unique biology are what goes into making your personalized recommendations. So the Viome recommendation engine is an artificial intelligence platform that considers all of these different inputs of your data, including your Viome scores, your questionnaire responses, all of this to determine your optimal nutrition. So the first and probably most important input into the Viome recommendation is your scores. We went over these in the first webinar, but your scores are the outputs from your stool and your blood samples. These are your unique health measurements that we get using metatranscriptomics, so your gene expression. The Viome recommendation engine takes these scores into account. It looks at the scores that are identified as not optimal. These are the areas that you need to improve. And then it further refines your recommendations based on your questionnaire data. So the inputs from your questionnaire are things like your age, your gender, your weight, your measurements that you provide, allergies, medications, any symptoms or conditions that you report. So say, for example, you report that you have an allergy to some kind of ingredient, some kind of food. We will not recommend any supplements or foods that contain that allergen for you. And then if you report that you're on any medications, we won't recommend any ingredients that have known interactions to those medications that you're taking. And there are even some supplements that are known to work well with certain medications. Lastly, your recommendations are further refined by your reported age, like your stage of life, your gender, your symptoms, and your conditions. So based on your stage of life, you may be recommended certain ingredients or even certain dosage mechanisms. If you're under the age of 14, you're probably not going to be too good at swallowing capsules. So right now we're only recommending the Viome Precision Supplement Biotics. Those are the stick packs that you mix with water. It's a lot easier for kids to take. We are working on a more appropriate dosage mechanism for kids, so stay tuned. That's coming up somewhere in the near future. Based on your gender, we may recommend certain ingredients that support female or male health. And then lastly, based on your symptoms and conditions you report, we may recommend or even avoid certain ingredients. Say, for example, you report that you have GERD, right? Gastroesophageal reflux disease. We may avoid certain ingredients for you that could upset your GERD symptoms, like capsicum extract. This is what makes peppers really spicy, has really great benefits for most people. But if you have GERD, this could upset your symptoms. So we would avoid that for you. Once the AI has received all of your suboptimal scores and all of this questionnaire data, it links you to the precise nutrition that you need. Our very talented teams of clinical nutritionists and systems biologists have spent several years researching and understanding all of the molecular and biochemical pathways that are involved in our scores. And we've developed a knowledge base of over 200 supplement ingredients. This includes your vitamins, minerals, herbs, enzymes, pre and probiotics, and also over 300 foods that can positively impact your health. Next slide. So we take all of these supplements and foods in our knowledge base, and we create a personalized nutrition plan for you. This is delivered to you in your app. It includes the foods that you should avoid eating. These are foods that could negatively impact your scores or your health. And then your superfoods, these are the foods you want to eat a lot of. These are the foods that are going to positively impact your health. And then we provide your supplements program. These are additional nutrients that are going to augment your diet to give you additional nutrients that will also positively impact your scores. Next slide. So now let's look at some specific examples of how the recommendation engine works. So let's say, for example, you have an energy production pathways score that's suboptimal. So your body's not making sufficiently enough energy. For most people, this would mean, hey, maybe I should eat more spinach. Spinach provides alpha lipoic acid, which is an essential cofactor that your body uses to produce energy. But say you also have low oxalate metabolism pathway score. This means that the microbes in your gut aren't sufficiently expressing the pathways that they need to break down oxalates, and oxalates are not good for your health if you have a lot of them in your diet. So that would mean spinach contains oxalates. So eating a bunch of spinach isn't going to be helpful for your health. In which case we would have you minimize spinach, and then we can supplement through your precision supplements extra alpha lipoic acid to help improve your energy production pathway score. Next slide, please. So just like there's no universally healthy food, right? Most people think spinach is really healthy and they should eat a lot of it. We know that's not necessarily the case depending on your biology. There's also no universally healthy supplement either. Let's take, for example, turmeric. This is a pretty common household spice, right? And even a very popular supplement right now. Everyone is talking about curcumin. It's all over the internet, it's in books. It's known for its really great anti-inflammatory benefits. So for most people, we would recommend curcumin to help improve their immune system activation score. So if you have a lot of inflammation, curcumin could be good for you. But if you also have a bile acid metabolism pathway score that's suboptimal, curcumin could actually not be beneficial for you. So if the pathway activity of your bile acid metabolism score is suboptimal, this means that the microbes in your gut are deconjugating bile acids. So it's really just a fancy way of saying that they're creating an inflammatory environment. Turmeric is known to increase bile acid production. So that would be giving the microbes in your gut more fuel to create an inflammatory environment. And we don't want that, right? You don't want more inflammation in your gut. So in this case, we could recommend another really great anti-inflammatory herb, andrographis, instead of the turmeric. But without Viome testing, you wouldn't know this. This is really one of the great features that Viome takes the guesswork out of figuring out which supplements are right for you. Next slide. So while you can get a lot of these nutrients that you need from your food, and it is still really important to eat a healthy diet, diet alone is often not enough to supply your body with the nutrients it needs to be in top health. So there's a precision supplements formulation on the right of your screen here. If you were going to eat all of the food that you would need to get the nutrients on that supplement facts panel, you would have to eat large amounts of all of the foods on the left side of this slide in order to get those nutrients. So just for example, I'll pick out a few supplements here. So fisetin, it's found in strawberries. You would need to eat about 50 strawberries to get 100 milligrams of fisetin. I love strawberries, but that's a lot. For L-theanine is in green tea. You would need to drink 10 cups of green tea. I don't know about you, but I think I would be pretty wired on caffeine. How about quercetin? There's 352 milligrams of quercetin. You would need to eat 10 onions. That's a lot of onions and probably some bad breath. So just looking at the list here of supplements, there's even some ingredients here that you probably wouldn't want to eat, or maybe they're not in your average diet, like elderberry. I don't think tastes very good. I don't even know where you would get saw palmetto or boswellia. So by taking your supplements, taking precision supplements, you can augment your diet with nutrients that you can't get enough of from your food. You can also get some of these great herbs and other supplements that you don't normally get in your diet. Next slide, please. And then the next factor is dosing. How do you know how much of each supplement you should take? Getting the correct dosage of your supplements is really critical for efficacy. A dosage that's too high could be toxic, while if you're taking too little of a dosage, you might not be taking enough to get an effect, and you could just be wasting your money. When you go to the store, there's usually only one dosage, maybe there's two. How do you know which one to pick? The Viome recommendation engine uses artificial intelligence to determine your optimal dosage. So the recommendation engine looks at dosages that have been used in clinical trials specifically for the condition area that you need improvement on. It also looks at the severity of your conditions, your suboptimal scores, and your stage of life to figure out exactly which dosage you need for each ingredient. Oftentimes you'll notice on your label, you'll see some vitamins and minerals that are above 100% daily value. And sometimes that alarms people. They think that we're dosing them too much. But keep in mind here, the daily values are what the US government has determined is the amount just at or even a little bit above what's needed to keep you from developing a specific nutrient deficiency disease. So this would be, for example,
so that's just healthy people, right, Hillary?
Right. So this is, yeah, healthy people from getting things like, enough vitamin C so that you don't get scurvy. I think scurvy is not so much an issue right now, and we don't want you to just survive. We want you to thrive, right? So to keep you in your optimal health status, you may see on your label more than 100% daily value. It just depends on your biology and what you need. And then the exact dosages you need to optimize your health are delivered to you, to your daily precision supplements capsules pack using robotics. So there's some pictures here. I'm going to go in a little bit more detail into them in a bit, but just know that we use robotics to select each ingredient at precisely the right amount that you need. Next slide, please. So your formula is truly your unique formula, and it is made just for you. To give you an idea of just how unique your formula is, 96% of our customers have a completely unique formula. This means that not a single person has the same ingredients at the same dosages that they do. Pretty cool, right? Your precision supplements contain just what you need to support your suboptimal scores at precisely the dosages that you need them, no one else. Next slide, please. Okay, so now we've covered how your recommendations are made. Let's take a look at how they're manufactured. Until Viome Precision Supplements came along, custom-made supplements had never before been done at scale using your unique health measurements. So now with Viome's unique capabilities, not only do we use cutting-edge technology to determine your supplement formulation, but we also manufacture your personalized supplement in a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility using robotics. Our custom-built equipment makes it possible for your formula to be made just for you and then shipped to your home. So let's take a look at how your journey of your supplements, or let's take a look at the journey of your supplements and how they make it to your door. I have some never before seen footage of our manufacturing process that I'm really excited to show you. Okay, so your precision supplements journey begins when you click subscribe. Your formulation is sent to our CGMP facility right here in the US, where it's created just for you. Each ingredient in your precision supplement capsules are dosed using our robotic technology. We have controls in place to assure precise dosing and then that your formula is dispensed. Our custom-built equipment selects your unique combination of ingredients at exactly the dosages that you need them. Once your order is dispensed, it's sonically blended and then encapsulated to ensure every capsule is the same and made fresh for your next 30-day supply. Your capsules are all foil packed and they're printed with your name on every sachet. Once the sachets are sealed, your order is quarantined while final testing is done in a certified laboratory, which takes about 3 days and ensures the safety of every batch. The production is completed when your Precision Supplements capsule sachets are meticulously assembled with your personalized biotic stick pack. Every order is quality checked before it's released for shipment, and your Precision Supplements journey ends when it arrives right at your doorstep. How cool is that? Next slide, please. So all of the ingredients that we use in Viome supplements are quality ingredients from trusted suppliers. We don't add any fillers or flow agents. There's no magnesium stearates, no dioxides, none of that yucky stuff that's in some other supplements. All of the ingredients are allergen free. So this means that they're free of the top 8 allergens identified by the FDA. These are dairy, wheat, eggs, soy, shellfish, fish, tree nuts, and peanuts. All of our ingredients are non-GMO. They're vegetarian. So you can be assured that they're all high quality ingredients. Next slide, please. So all of the ingredients are also quality assured, tested multiple times throughout the manufacturing process. When we first procure the ingredient, they go through all of these tests you see here. So they go through an organoleptic review and identification. This means we're making sure that it's the correct genus species of the plant and also the correct plant part. They're purity testing, which means we're checking to make sure that it's the correct potency that we need. And then they're tested to make sure that they're free of any contaminants. So this would be pesticides, heavy metals, and microbes. So only the finest ingredients in your precision supplements.
Well, Hillary, I think that that blew me away. I hope the other hundreds and hundreds of people on here felt the same way. You know, it's really amazing to see what we've done in such a short period of time. Like I said, we didn't have this the first 4 years of our company, and no one else is doing this right now. No one can do this right now. So what I would love to happen next, if you're up for it, Dr. Grant, is take a minute to highlight some of our advantages of our recommendation system and our manufacturing, because you know it really is special, and it really shows how dynamic and personalized our recommendations are compared to the hundreds of products that are on the shelf. So if you wouldn't mind, please take us through that, Dr. Grant.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Maury. Yeah, we really are proud of our precision supplement program. And one of the features that we really like to highlight is because of our unique manufacturing capability, everything Hillary just spoke about, your supplement recommendations can be adjusted, right? It's what we call your living formula, because it can actually adapt and really move and change right along with you. So how can your formula be adjusted? You know, obviously retesting is going to be one way. By retesting every 3 to 6 months, you're going to get up-to-date results and recommendations that are going to adjust your formula. So maybe on your first test, you really had a digestive focus, your gas production scores were high, or digestive efficiency, what have you. But now with retesting, you've really resolved a lot of those issues. And now the focus goes more towards mitochondrial or cellular health. So your supplement formula will change, it'll adapt. Nothing more for you to do. The AI does the work for you, and those get delivered right to you. So speaking of the AI, there's always improved logic, right? The AI is constantly learning. Our database is growing every test kit, every individual. We're learning. We're also constantly reviewing the scientific literature. We're updating our domain knowledge and entering that into our database for the AI. So maybe we learn, as an example, that there's a particular polyphenol that inhibits sulfide gas production. We're going to describe that new relationship, add it to the database, and then that's going to be reflected in your recommendations. So assuming you have a high sulfide gas production scoring, your formula would change. Nothing for you to do, but now you're receiving the most up-to-date recommendations that are possible. Then there's always new or improved ingredients. We're always looking to expand our offerings, looking for the latest ingredients with the best clinical research behind them. Or maybe we're able to source a higher quality ingredient that wasn't available before. Maybe there's an improved absorption of an extract, maybe a better curcumin. All those are possibilities. And then there's personalized adjustments. So a couple of different ways: allergies or food sensitivities. Maybe you rushed through the questionnaire on the first go. You forgot to describe an allergy. You can contact us. We can go back. We can apply these and reformulate your recommendation. So maybe you forgot you had a pineapple allergy. We'll put that in. So now we're not gonna give you any bromelain in your formula. Maybe you got the results of a new food sensitivity test. We can apply those sensitivities to adjust. It's really amazing. Medications, maybe you got prescribed a new medication and you're concerned about a possible interaction. Again, you can contact us. We can add that information into your questionnaire and reformulate if there is in fact an interaction concern. Kind of the same avenue there is that maybe you got a new diagnosis, a new condition that you didn't have on your first test. Maybe some hypothyroidism. Now you're concerned, maybe it's Hashimoto's, you're concerned about your iodine intake. We can also update that, and then that will be reflected in your supplement recommendations. Really, the possibilities are endless and really reflect the uniqueness of our platform, its dynamic nature, and ultimately our ability to provide you with the most relevant, up-to-date, highest quality supplement recommendations we can.
Thank you so much, Grant. I really appreciate that. That was extremely informative. Janelle, you have been so quiet during this entire webinar, and
hi everyone.
I'm gonna pass it along to you to take this home, because what I would love for you to explain is, all right, so we understand why we need these supplements, how we make these supplements, and we deliver these supplements in amazing, little daily vitamin packets of your exact formula per day and your stick packs, and it comes in this great packaging. But, I talk to a lot of customers and I get a lot of questions, which is, okay, well, how do I take them? Do I take them in the morning? Do I take them at night? Do I take them all at the same time? Do I mix them? Do I swallow them? Do I put the powder in? Is there any tips you can give us? What about other supplements? So I think I would love to hand it over to you, Janelle, to take that part and take us home with that information, please, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah, these supplements are incredible, but if we can't take them, we're not getting the benefit from them, right? So we do have some best practices, both with our capsules and our stick packs, and I'll just discuss some of those. I think they're pretty straightforward. When we're talking about your capsules, we do want you to drink them with plenty of water. Please don't take them dry. That's a choking risk. We don't want to have that for anyone. So at least 6 ounces of water every time you take your capsules. If you don't love swallowing capsules, you can open them up and pour them like into a smoothie or something and take them that way as well. Take your capsules with a meal. This helps to prevent any GI upset, can help to stimulate digestion and improve absorption of some of those nutrients, particularly if you have fat-soluble vitamins in your formulation, so like vitamins A, D, E, or K. You do want to include some fat in that meal to help absorb those nutrients, those vitamins. There's also other ingredients that sometimes we don't think of as much that benefit from some fat, like CoQ10, curcumin, and boswellia extract. So I think it's a great idea really for anyone to include just a little bit of fat in their meal that they're having with their supplements. And it could be as simple as, like a little drizzle of olive oil on your food. Maybe you're having a handful of nuts or seeds. You saute your veggies in ghee or some kind of other fat that's on your Viome food list. So add in that fat and then take your capsules. We do recommend taking them twice a day. So 4 capsules split up twice a day. Again, this can help with absorption of some of the nutrients in your capsules. And also look at your list. If your formulation has digestive enzymes in there, then it's particularly important to take those capsules at mealtime and to split it up so you're getting the benefit of those enzymes. So maybe you're taking it at breakfast and lunch, or at lunch and dinner, whatever works for you, but split them up during the day. And if taking supplements is just new to you, start slow. You're introducing new ingredients into your system. We want to make sure you respond well, so you can start at 2 to 4 capsules a day and build up from there. A little bit of GI upset is normal when you're starting something new. What wouldn't be normal is if you're having some type of allergic reaction, like a skin reaction, hives, itchiness, then we would want you to definitely contact us. Okay, let's look at the next slide and talk about the prebiotics and probiotics. Best practices are going to be similar for these, but there are some slight differences. We do, again, want you to take it with a meal, ideally. There is some preliminary research that shows that taking your probiotics either with a meal or 30 minutes before your meal helps the survivability of those. So take that then. Don't take them dry. It can be tempting to just pour that powder in your mouth, but again, that can be a choking hazard. The stick packs are designed to have a neutral taste. So the great part about that is that you can really include it in a lot of different foods and beverages. At least 6 ounces of liquid. It can just be water if you prefer. Just make sure it's not anything that is hot. We don't want to kill off those live probiotics. So they can be poured into like a smoothie, a protein shake, nut milks, or if you want to mix it into food, things like applesauce, yogurt, or chia pudding are nice options. And that also works really well if you have a kid who's taking them, who's gone through the program and has their stick packs as well. With your prebiotics and probiotics, I would say a big thing to remember is to drink plenty of water throughout the day. These stick packs have fiber in them. Fiber draws water into your bowels. It helps to soften stools. It helps to make them pass easier. And that's all really, really great. But if you're not drinking enough water, that could result in like dehydration and constipation, and we don't want that. So drink water throughout the day. And with your stick packs of prebiotics and probiotics, this one is probably a little more important to start slow on if you haven't been taking prebiotics or probiotics in the past. A little bit of digestive upset, again, is normal. Some of that gas and bloating can just be caused as you're rebalancing your microbiome. And we know that for some people, that resolves in a week or two. For others, it could take up to a month for those symptoms to subside. But if you start with like a half a stick pack a day and you build up that tolerance, usually those symptoms aren't quite as noticeable.
I want to throw 2 quick things in on this topic, Janelle, if you don't mind. Number one is, I think, we all know what probiotics are. I think the yogurt industry really did a good job of that over the last 10 years of explaining what probiotics are, but not a lot of people know exactly what prebiotics are. And I just wanted to throw out that, probiotics are live bacteria that feed on certain things. And if those things are not available, we take them and they die and they don't function. And that's what prebiotics are. And so, make sure that whether you're getting it from us or anywhere else, that your probiotics come with prebiotics so that they're not wasted. The second thing, and this, I'm going to take a quote from Hillary with regards to hydration. Hillary once told me that it's important to look at how much you weigh, divide that by 2, and change that to ounces. And that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking throughout the day. So I just wanted to share that gem of information that Hillary gave me a while back. So
yeah,
back to you.
That's a great tip. Okay, that's great. I think we can move on to our next slide.
All right. Well, we are at the Q&A section, and we get so many questions. We're seeing so many questions come in live here today, but we're going to go ahead and take some of the most frequently asked questions. I'm going to go ahead and read the question, and I'm going to pick somebody on the team to answer. So guys, all be ready, because you don't know who I'm going to call on over here. So you better be ready with the responses. We trust you all. So with that, first question, please. Do I need to take my supplements forever? Dr. Grant, you've been quiet and we miss you. Can you please take this one?
Yeah, I have a great question. I'll take this one on. I think Stephen really laid out a strong argument for why we might always need to consider taking supplements, right? Declining nutritional value of the food supply, various stressors, toxins, age-related declines. Then there's situational considerations. You know, are you vegan, vegetarian? Do you need that B12 or iron? Are you an athlete, or at least lead a very active lifestyle? You need to focus on recovery, electrolytes, proteins, branched chain amino acids. Maybe you're diabetic. Maybe you want to protect against kind of the downstream ravages of the disease, protect your eyes, your kidneys, your nervous system with antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. So maybe, you know, to answer the question, I would say yes, there's likely always some gap that can be filled by supplements, but you shouldn't necessarily take the same supplements all the time, right? I kind of think of this as like, we're all kind of like video game characters. You've got your character and you're trying to increase their strength, their stamina, their intelligence, their speed. You know, here at Viome, we're looking at cellular stress, immunity, and mitochondrial function, but really you're trying to make these incremental changes over time to really improve your health. You can't really focus on everything at once, but we can get targeted improvements over time. And I think being able to have that focus, know what supplements to bring in and get you to your goals so you can go hit the next target and the next goal. I think it's important. And I think it really highlights the benefit of our platform. Again, as you retest, you're getting those up-to-date results and recommendations based off your test results. So your formula is adapting with you. The last thing I'd want to say though is, like, you know, supplements are just that. They're a supplement. They're not a substitute. We can't overstate the importance of having a strong foundation of health, nutritious whole food diet, movement, sleep, our relationships. Supplements can't replace these things, right? But they can enhance and support aspects of your health and help us leverage the power of the microbiome to really move the needle and get us to our goals. I hope that helps.
Thank you so much. Next question, please. I have an allergy. I've got a sensitivity. Can I request specific ingredients to be omitted from my precision supplements formula? You know, I think, Hillary, this is going to be a question I'm going to assign to you.
Sure. Yeah, this kind of ties back to what I was talking about, the inputs that go into our recommendation engine. So I actually do take your allergies into account with your recommendation. So as long as you report them on your questionnaire, you should not see that ingredient that you're allergic to in your recommendations. But if you miss that question, you absolutely can request specific ingredients to be omitted. Just reach out to our customer service and we can take care of that for you.
Amazing. Thank you. Next question, please. I love this one because I get this one all the time. I take vitamins. Should I continue to take my own vitamins when taking Viome supplements? Should precision supplements from Viome replace them? I know it's recommended that we ask our doctor, but most doctors don't want to be, really put in a corner on this and won't be much help. So with that, Grant, back over to you. Can you take this one, please?
Keep giving me all the hard ones, man. Yeah,
that's why you look so good.
Yeah, in general, we suggest you stop other supplements when you're taking precision supplements, but there are some exceptions to this. For example, we might suggest you continue taking anything your doctor's recommended. Maybe you're on a statin and they want you to take some CoQ10. Maybe they're monitoring your vitamin D levels, so they have you on a higher dose regimen. These would be important to continue. In general, we wouldn't suggest you double up on any ingredients in your formula. I guess if there is something in particular that you feel you need more of, you definitely need to consult your doctor. We don't want you doubling up. We give you targeted dosing. Then other considerations, there are acute situations you might consider, maybe if you got like a cold and flu, things like zinc or elderberry herbs to support, those would be okay to take. Again, check your label, make sure you're not doubling up. Maybe you're traveling and jet lag, you need to support your sleep. You want to bring in some sedative herbs, some valerian, maybe some melatonin. those would be okay. Again, check your label, talk to your doctor. But then there's other considerations, I suppose, with pregnancy. We're not a replacement for prenatal, although this is something we're definitely looking at and working towards to offering in the future. So stay tuned. But yeah, I hope that gives some clarity. I hope that helps.
Thank you so much. It sure did. All right, next question, please. This is a good one. There's a lot of probiotics and prebiotics that we see that are refrigerated in special packaging because, they're live. So do my pre and probiotic stick packs need to be refrigerated? Hillary, I'm back to you on this one, please.
Sure, I can answer that. So our pre and probiotic stick packs are actually shelf stable and they're inactive as long as your stick pack is sealed. Once you open up the stick pack and the probiotics come in contact with moisture, even a little bit in air, that's when they become activated. So once you put it in your water, once they get into your stomach, that's when they become activated. So as long as it's sealed, they're stable. And unlike other probiotic companies, we actually guarantee our CFU label claim. So the amount that's on your label is guaranteed to be there in your stick pack.
Fantastic. Next question, please. All right, so I'm trusting you guys here, and I'm stepping up. How long is it going to take me to feel better after following my food and supplement recommendations from Viome? Janelle, best for last. Come on, take us home.
All right, this is not a simple question. I'll say that every person comes to Viome with a different baseline, right? We all have different baselines. So if you're at a more maybe unhealthy baseline, you're here to really improve that. You may notice benefits sooner than, let's say, someone who's really optimized their health and they're just tweaking it a little bit further. There's some things to consider, right? Like our environment, our stress level, our sleep, those all play a role in how we're feeling. The composition of your gut microbiome, especially with our biotics. So some people experience those improvements in their digestion really quickly. For other people, it takes some time for that rebalancing of the microbiome. And then your formulation has a big part too. So there are ingredients in formulations like, let's say, B vitamins. You might notice those effects, like feel the energy and the alertness from those really quickly. And other ingredients are targeting those longer term changes, maybe with the microbiome or inflammation. And that can take some more time to feel that. The final factor is, like, we have to remember that this is a nutrition and a supplement program, right? So how quickly you're changing your diet over time makes a difference. And there are some people who just love to jump in and overhaul their diet right away. And for other people, it's better to, kind of take it slow, do it small changes at a time. Both strategies can work depending on what works for you, really. But if you're implementing it slowly over time, that also just may mean that those benefits will be more noticeable later once you've fully implemented your nutrition plan. I think we get some people who say, can I just take supplements and forget about the diet? Which, of course, I'm going to say no to, but that, in my mind, it's like swimming against the current, right? So we maybe will end up at neutral. Like, you might end up at the same place as you started if you're doing only supplements. But if you're constantly putting inflammatory foods into your body and just trying to fight those with supplements, you're just not going to notice as great of a benefit than if you're doing them together, right? We need the food and the supplements, they go hand in hand. So we talked about it a little bit last time, but notice those benefits. Notice, I think the most common ones are like improved energy, better digestion, clearer skin, mental alertness. And then some changes are just hard to feel or see. So that's why we encourage retesting. And every time you retest, your precision supplements update to reflect that current health status. And you get to keep improving step by step.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Janelle. All right. So I want to say thank you to everybody, and then I want to wrap up with just reviewing some of our offerings today. So if I can get that next slide up, please. All right, so in a sense, we have several different plans for our supplements for those of you that are interested, and we just want to be upfront and let you know what's available today. By the way, I did mention the code word signal, and as you can see at the top, it will get you 50% off your first month off of all these prices that you see here. So starting from the left, for those that are interested in just starting sort of on the first wave of precision probiotics and prebiotic stick packs, that typically runs about $49 a month. And we will deliver those monthly. You'll get 30 stick packs per month that you take one per day mixed, as Janelle mentioned before. Next would be precision supplements. So these are your individually formulated on-demand capsules of vitamins, minerals, supplements, and herbs. And those run $99 a month. And those will come in 30 individualized vitamin packets that will each contain 8 capsules. And so you can take those, you know, in the morning, evening. You can put the powder in whatever type of liquid you want as well. And then we also offer them together, which is our Precision Supplements Complete, which includes the probiotics and the prebiotics, really everything that we recommend. And that runs $149 per month. Like I said before, Keyword Signal will get you not only discounts on kits, but also 50% off of your first month. And what I'd like to just mention on the kits as well is if there may be some people on here that aren't Viome customers yet. You can get either the GI kit or the HI kit, that stands for Gut Intelligence or Health Intelligence. Both of them will give you the food recommendations and the supplement recommendations. The Health Intelligence kits just gives you a little bit more, actually quite a bit more on scoring and analysis. So those are the products that we offer. This has been a thrill for us. This is now the 3rd webinar we've done. More to come. I want to really thank everybody who took their time and energy to really try to educate our customers. You know, we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of customers, but we can't get there alone. So please, everybody, if you're really believers of Viome, join us on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Share, your results, share the information, share it with your friends, share this code. We really appreciate it. And, we're going to do our very best to keep going and doing this more in the future. So for all of those that took several hours out of your day, I know we're going to be reposting these webinars as well. So you will be getting recordings, and we'll be doing more in the future. Really means a lot to us that you've joined us on this journey of imagining a world where illness is optional. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.